Matt teased that my priest was calling in next. It is not my priest. However, it is our friend whose nickname is what? JP Morosi, good morning. Say it.
Good morning, Lauren. Good morning, Lauren. Yes, so when I was in college and people were just trying to, throw nicknames around, as you probably know, Pope John Paul II was the current pope at that time, as he was when I was born. And so my nickname to many was the Pope.
How did you come up with the title?
Different spelling.
What were you like
spelling.
in college, JP?
What
Did you have a
was
beer?
I like in college? Pardon me?
Did you have a beer at Harvard? What did you do?
Did I ever have a beer when I was in college? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Fake news.
A couple at various times. I thought you were asking if I ever had a beard, and I would say not really. I tried to grow a goatee, but fortunately there's one photo of that exists, and I will never send it in.
We'll find it.
The writers look bad. I think
JP,
it
let's
does.
check in on some teams at the midway point. Are we in the midway point in the offseason? Yes, we're closer to spring than we were in the World Series, I think, if I have my math right. What about the Rangers, the defending champs? They've made some moves. We don't know where Jordan Montgomery's going. I feel like Max and Jacob could be deadline acquisitions almost in a sense when they come back. What do you think so far of their offseason move?
Lauren, in general, I would say the Rangers, of course, that they add Tyler Mahle as well. It's more of a longer-term idea based on his recovery from Tommy John surgery as well. But here's what they have done for this particular offseason. Montgomery is the big name right now because we saw how important he was to their success in the month of October. I also mentioned yesterday that potentially Josh Hader adding to the bullpen is an option. They're interested in both Montgomery and Hader, but it doesn't look like they're the favorites at this juncture to land either. Now, certainly that could change. We're still relatively early here in the month of January, but there is an acknowledgement, Lauren, that the Rangers need to get a little bit deeper with their pitching, either with the rotation or the bullpen if they want to be able to navigate the full season. As you point out, they do expect to get some star-level talent back during the course of the season. Offensively, we know with the star turn of Adolis Garcia and others during the course of the postseason, they should have a very, very strong lineup to build on for 2024.
And their opening day rotation will look so different from their rotation in August, at least they hope, right? And before the Rangers won it all, it was the Houston Astros. I sit next to Robert Flores every day who says we're scared of their window closing. So much talent on that team. How do they get better this year, this offseason?
Lauren, it's a great question. And Robert often talks about how that window looks. And there was even that brief suggestion during the offseason, would they even entertain the possibility of trading Alex Bregman? So far, of course, the answer to that is no. But here is their balance sheet, if you will, for the offseason. And I would say this, you notice, Neris, Stanek, Maton, all part of the bullpen. And there's interest in bringing at least one or two of them back. The Astros also looking at different options via the trade market. I know they've talked to the Nationals at different times about the Nationals' available relievers, Kyle Finnegan being one of them. So to me, I've been told the Astros right now are focused on bullpen. Michael Brantley, we're not sure if he's going to come back and play or not. Maybe they would look for a lefty bat if he does not. They've always been more of a right-handed dominant team with the exception, obviously, of Tucker and Alvarez. So I think this is a team overall, Lauren, that's pretty well set. They've avoided the idea of a dramatic reshaping and reimagination. They want to run this back one more time and try to get back to the ALCS yet again, which has been the custom in Houston now going back several years.
Well, the Phillies are used to the postseason now. For the past couple years, they excite me. I was looking at the Philadelphia Inquirer, the front page of the sports page, and it said, Aaron Nola, then what, right? In terms of this offseason moves. Will they sign another starter? Dave Dombrowski's always doing something.
He is, Lauren. It's a great question. I think in general, the Phillies, to your point, it has been Aaron Nola and then what? In terms of other options, of course, Kimbrel left. He is signed elsewhere. I do believe that Hoskins, certainly with Bryce Harper playing first base, that to me is one of the big stories of the offseason is that Harper is going to be there full time, and that has meant that Hoskins likely to be elsewhere. I do think, Lauren, pitching and depth starting at the very least is a possibility for them. There's a reason why they were involved in the Yamamoto conversations. They saw value there. And fortunately for the Phillies, whether it's Lorenzen or maybe someone else like a Marcus Stroman, who had a really good first half and not so much after the All-Star break, there are enough options out there and available to where I don't think they'll be in the market for Jordan Montgomery. But to your point, Dave Dombrowski, always very aggressive, and a potential depth starting move or maybe middle of the rotation like Stroman. And by the way, if Stroman is your fourth or fifth starter, you've got a really good rotation. And I think that's where the Phillies could land here as they approach spring training.
You talk about pitching depth. I think about the Cardinals, right? They signed a few arms this offseason, and this is interesting because the division is wide open. Have they put themselves in a better position this offseason come April 1st?
Lauren, great question. I think they have. They're a much better club now than they were when this season ended. All three of those signings that you see, Gray, Gibson, and Lynn, that all happened in November. They were aggressive early. John Mozeliak said we need 3 starters, and he got 3 starters. Of course, they trade Tyler O'Neill to the Boston Red Sox. There's been a lot of conversation about their outfield depth. I still wonder, Lauren, if there might be another move to be made with respect to their outfield to see what exactly it's going to look like going forward. What does Jordan Walker give them in 24? What does Mason Wynn give them in 24? Maybe they look to upgrade the bullpen a little bit more. But I think, Lauren, this is an exciting team because if things break the right way, and they had so many things go wrong in 23, but if Walker and Wynn are ready, Nootbaar takes a step. Gorman, I think, is a really high-end hitter that we don't talk about enough, I think, collectively around Major League Baseball. There are the ingredients of a potential playoff team in St. Louis, especially when you consider the general direction of both the Cubs and the Brewers so far this offseason. It's a very, very close National League Central right now.
Pope John Paul Morosi. You didn't think I was going to find the picture, did you? Ye of little faith.
If you are too afraid to get hit, don't play.
Yeah, that was back. That was very close to my football days, Harold. That's right on. That's probably like 2002, maybe. Yeah, a little bit back in the more athletic days for me, I would say.
Harold left the studio.
I love history.
I don't know where he went, but he's here in spirit.
But the soundboard remains.
Bye,
the
Pope.
soundboard
May
remains.
the Lord be with you.
There's a lot of good-looking dudes in baseball.
JP's one of them. So are you, Maddie.